suicidal tendencies that creep up in my corpus. I don't wanna do no talking. Can't you see the reaper? He go crazy, he go dumb. I'm gonna let my temperature.
Hi guys, in this YouTube video I will show you another CentOS alternative called EuroLinux, a Linux distro created by the European Union. It can be thought as the successor of scientific Linux. It was a Linux distro created by Europe as well, created by the CERN to work for the Swiss scientists. Here it will load like we are the Red Hat Linux based distro. Even if it is made for the European Union, we have all the languages of the world like standard Red Hat. Here it will load the standard setup, connect the network, the host name, user, time zone, software selection. Many people choose a workstation. Other people that need virtualization software, they choose a server with GUI. Let's choose a server. It is also possible to use it with Cockpit Manager from the web browser. This was a feature first introducced in Fedora, but in future it will go to Red Hat Linux as well. Now they are doing a Red Hat 9 beta, and when it will be the standard version, Cockpit will be available and work very well on Red Hat forks as well. Here, like on Rocky Linux, we also have some security policy. For example, this one made by the EuroLinux project. Let's select this profile. You need to know that, for example, this one, it won't work because you need to partition the drive in a certain way. This one doesn't work. Let's select one, pick one up. This ANSSI BP28 is the only profile that doesn't require partition the disk in a certain way. Now install the distro. Now reboot the system. We have Linux kernel 4.19 like on other Red Hat based distros. The new Red Hat 9, when it will be available, will be based on GNOME 40 with kernel 5.10 or 5. Something. Accept the license agreement for the EuroLinux and for the security profile that we installed. By default, it has GNOME 32 Wayland, but it is also possible to use GNOME Classic and so I get 11. Let's see the setting the setting down here. It is GNOME 3.32, device name EuroLinux. We have Firefox and GNOME software, webcam application, VNC application, virtual machine manager, GNOME boxes. As always, with every Red Hat based distro, you will have to update it. First of all, because those distros are long-term support, so the software will be a little old. When you first start Firefox, you will go to this page and also this one from the organization. You should install Flatpak to get more up-to-date software. You could choose either Red Hat or Alma Linux. It will work in the same way. Let's pick the terminal. You install Flatpak. After that, we will need to add the Flattap repository to GNOME software. By the way, this is the lock screen. It has a nice custom wallpaper made by them. Flatpak is already installed, very good. Now add the Flattap repository, open with GNOME software. Here, install Flattap. Now reboot the system and Flatpak will be installed. Here, as I told you the backgrounds, we have these two backgrounds made by the EuroLinux organization. Reboot. The Flatpak edition works fine. For example, here we have a lot of new applications. For example, Brave browser. So this is Flattab. You can also install Flattab from the terminal. Sudo Flatpak search the PlayStation 2 emulator. And it should, yes, it found this emulator. So Flatpak will work as well as every other Linux distro, even the version with a more modern kernel. And this was EuroLinux, a distribution based on Red Hat Linux made by the European Union. See you later, guys.